Hello everyone, welcome back to Skyshock. So we are now in the thick of it, essentially. We have a gun, we have stuff to attack with, we have our weapons. Oh, those were poisoned apples, oh dear.
I told you, COMSTOCK. You sell them paradise, and the customers expect cherubs for every chore. No menials in God's kingdom. Well, I have a man in Georgia who'll lease us as many Negro
What was that?
convicts you can board. Why, you can say they're simple souls in penance for rising above their station. Whatever eases your conscience.
Oh dear. So we all immediately established Jeremiah Fink as the absolutely corrupt business guy. Did he just... It cannot possess humans. And so that guy just, like, saved that robot from being possessed. What a twist. So, we have fully now established Jeremiah Fink as the business guy and Father COMSTOCK as the ideologue. So we have pretty much all of our main characters for Bioshock, for a Bioshock game at this point. Oh my. Wow. It is the strangest thing to have a melee button attack in Bioshock Infinite. And I don't know if anyone has really talked much about this. I've read a whole lot of the reviews and stuff, and a lot of people writing about Bioshock, but nobody, I mean, okay, for some background, with Bioshock and with System Shock 2, which also has the wrench mechanic in it where you equip your wrench and then use it on stuff and run up to things and hit things. I have written a lot about how romanticized the wrench is as a initial melee weapon and as your first go-to for understanding the world around you. That the worlds that Irrational Games build are very large and very involved, just like we see in this game. So they always equip you with a wrench at the very beginning for the first section of the game, even a small section of the game, to basically get you to run around their world a lot more. Difference is that this is extraordinarily different from Bioshock, and whereas critics are going to completely miss it, gamers are going to notice right away it ain't a horror game like Bioshock and like System Shock 2 are. And so, the combat has evolved from being a by your bootstraps, scrapping, brawlish, trying to survive thing, and is now actually kind of a tactical shooter. Like a modern... I don't want to say Call of Duty, but I'm going to say Call of Duty because that's the first thing that comes to mind when you're switching weapons like that. You're having your knife at hand. So, we have killed who they are calling the Fireman, which I think is just the best name for a villain ever. And so it gives us fire powers. Devil's Kiss.
To throw a fiery grenade. Hold and release to create an explosive trap.
They're kind of like really ornate poppets. You know, those things that you like, the little wads of gunpowder that you throw at kids? I mean, you throw by kids' feet and not at them. I don't hurt people. Except on 4th of July. Sometimes. Oh, whoops, that was the... I forgot that they just equipped my other superpowers for me. I thought I was going to possess that, instead I blew it up, but... C'est la vie! Well, except unless you're that turret, then you cannot say la vie. So we can hit Q to switch between vigors, and assume we can hit our opposite button to switch weapons when we get more of them. Oh, we're gonna go into a restaurant, it looks like, a very meatitarian restaurant. I guess it kind of looks like it's on our way. We're just going to the big statue area. which is kind of a nice location user. It's cool how they use that in the design. Giant statue, go to it. And so that's supposed to be Monument Island. Supposedly our girl is there. 3 of them? Oh, this game spoils me. A look back at opening day. 1893, the dream of the prophet is finally aloft. Columbia begins her journey to spread America's vision to the world. Blimps. And... Alright. Next kinetoscope. Let's go. Oh, I have to hit enter to skip that. Took me a second. Okay. What's the next one? The prophet stands up to foes, within and without. 1901. The Chinese boxers take hostage Americans innocent. The prophet and Columbia stand up for America. Our prophet. What thanks does Columbia get? Washington to COMSTOCK, stand down! We stand behind the prophet. Oh, they're literally down there just standing behind the prophet. And... wow, so... oh, they are legit secessionists from the American Union. We secede from the so-called Union. 1902, a cowardly America recalls her finest city. No thanks, says the prophet, we're fine on our own. Columbia secedes from the Union, disappears into clouds. And the rest of America breathes a sigh of relief that all of these people have left to go be stratonauts? When you go into space, you're a cosmonaut. If you just go into the clouds, does that make you like a stratonaut?
We were already here.
Why are you following us?
Aperitif.
Oh my gosh, these characters are worth everything in this game.
The difference between...
Oh, they're giving me a shield?
What was that?
Surprising.
Special cocktail.
Surprising that it worked.
Surprising that it didn't kill him.
But a magnetic repulsive field around one's body can come in handy.
If it doesn't kill you.
A fair point.
Life, death, shields. It's all part of the big game we call life. In Columbia. So those guys are just following me.
Father COMSTOCK called on me today to write his biograph. Me. The man pays for exactly 100 pages in advance. Now, I'm half a Jew when I smell silver, so I say, Father, your flock would pay for 1,000. You know, why settle for less? And then the prophet looks to me and says, 100 will suffice, as I know how it ends.
Wow, okay, so there were a lot of connotations in there, especially with the stereotypes of Jews being very greedy. Where he says he's half a Jew.
Whoa! Damn hook must be magnetized.
Thank you, Booker, for explaining a game mechanic to us in about 5 words. Thing must be magnetized. Holy crap. Oh, so that was spooky. They kind of glow red when they're items you grab. And we get, wow, this is a machine gun a la 1912. It totally is.
Who's there?
Probably no one, because how many times in your city are people rolling around the rooftops shooting at each other? Basically, all these people are very quick to shoot. Whoa! Oh, there's a turret or something up there. Can I break it? Huh. I don't know if I can possess it because I feel like I'm gonna miss. Oh well, think my plan of attack will just be to avoid it. Because I can't really see where it is or hit it or anything. So, these guys are totes secessionists. Like, we are within American history here in 1912. We are within spitting distance of the Civil War. So, it was a scary point in American history where there was constantly a fear of secession, basically splitting America into two, geographically speaking. Idealistically speaking, America has always been split in two, so it's not much of a leap, but it is still a powerful sentiment. And it's still one that's even powerful to this day. And so that explains all of the flags that we've been seeing, how they bear American stars and stripes, but not the same number of stars. In fact, one star, which is very, very telling, metaphorically speaking, of how these people, the people of Columbia, really do represent kind of this secessionist value of an elitism or a supremacism within their nationalistic identity, their racial identity, their religious identity. And so they have basically created, they have removed all social stratification from their society by removing all social. Usually when you'd want to fix that problem, you would try to remove the stratification. They have taken the opposite route. Social stratification being the things that separate society in dangerous and harmful ways. A meeting of the Columbia Friends of the Negro Society. Until the Negroes equal, none of us are equal. Anti-violent sentiments. So we are in the house of... Oh, walking into houses with guns. I completely forgot that we were in a video game.
Police, we're in need of your assistance.
They're here!
Ha! They can't open their doors to the police. So these people, these guys must act, since this is the first time we're actually hearing of black people, or anyone who's not white Anglican, being treated as a human being, and not as some awful stereotype or worse, these individuals must be harboring black people in their house. Which is a breath of fresh air, to be honest. And that is a bingo! Well, we should make sure that nobody enters this house then. Because this, not a good place for them to be. But it seems like there is work going on to actually accept people across racial lines. Which even for today's standards is pretty refreshing. Yeah, they're just kind of sleeping in here and or hiding. It's interesting that this is like the only door in this entire house that will close behind you. And so it always stays closed. Anyways, thank you so much for watching the first act of this section. We will see you next time on Rainy Day Let's Play.